They be like, ooh, got a pen in my hand. Ooh, hey. Like, how you trying to buy who the hell I am? You can keep your cash, I'm not that broke. I won't sign no contracts, I do me. Y'all are canceled, stealing people's dreams. How can you sleep? It's all rap pros, throwing cash in Lambos. I'm independent till I'm dead. I quit the music industry.
Yeah, we're late because we had technical difficulties.
Yeah, I had a little issue. Apples are cool.
Apples are no good. Apples are no good. Everyone should just get rid of their apples right now. Just take your apples right now and break them in half. That's what you should do. Anyone that owns an Apple phone should just take their apple and break them in half.
I think I'll pass on that.
Any apple. I always tell people when they come into my stores and they ask me my honest opinion, I'm like, if you have an Apple device, you are the dog and the Apple is the human. If you have an Android or PC, you are the human and it is the dog.
There's only one issue with that, though. I like my Apple computer way better than I would even. I don't like Apple phones or nothing, but the computer's good. Although Apple's supposed to be coming out with a new phone that's not an iPhone, so I don't know.
They're trying to. Well, the truth is the reason that, and we're getting into reptiles, guys. I promise you, we'll get into some reptiles. But the reason is because America, it's like 60 to 40, 60% on Apple, but worldwide it's not. Worldwide, no. Apple's frowned upon. If you go outside of America, people don't like Apple.
Yeah,
it's not a thing. And everyone's like, Samsung. No, they have phones that you don't even hear about. They have devices and phones that we don't have in America. Like where's it at? It might be in Japan. You go to a phone and you build the phone. You say, I want this camera, I want this processor, I want this RAM, and they build you a phone. So it's like an unbranded phone.
Although I'm having second thoughts about the whole Mac thing here, because like Josh just said, it sucks. Apple sucks, but they upgraded to their Venture. What is it? Their iOS mode is Venture now, and it hides your location. It hides all your information. So when you go to sign into Hulu, it won't let you sign into Hulu because it's like a VMP or VPN. So they're like, no, we got to know where you're at. I'm like, I can't turn it off. It's the freaking way.
Well, the reason I say is you don't have freedom with Apple products. You can't do what you want. You can't uninstall like the operating system and put something new. With a PC, I could put Windows on it. I could take Windows off it. I could put Unix on it, Linux on it. And there's so many different Linuxes I could put on it. I could just put plain old DOS on this machine and it would run. You know, yeah. I mean, I don't know what I'd do with it. I can put emulators on this. You can't do that with Apple. I can make this emulate a VIC-20, Commodore 64, all that.
I love Commodore 64.
Yeah, Commodore 64 is cool. Like BASIC, just writing BASIC. And now there's different BASIC languages and people that do different stuff. But yeah, that's why I am against Apple, because I'm a big free speech person, you know, and Apple. It is a coder game. No, I'm looking at it as a freedom point of view. So Apple it makes it easy for you, but also when you want to do something, it prevents you from doing it. So let's say there's something that you really want to do with that phone and you can't. Most Apple, I just can't do that.
If you've never used an Apple either, you'd get lost if you picked one up. Or even if you got on an Apple computer, you would get lost, because it's not like
phone companies and especially phone companies and computer companies have people all mind boggled and brainwashed. Like megapixels, Samsung's new megapixel, 200 megapixel camera. 200's a high number, so people think it's great.
Yeah,
but I have 18 megapixel cameras that would blow that away. I have so.
Okay,
here's I had to mention camera just for Adam.
Okay, you're a phone salesperson. I have a question for you. What's the deal with Samsung if you take any note in and trade it in, and you get a new phone for free, a new S23 Ultra or whatever it is?
It's not just note. You can take in down to S10e.
Oh yeah,
I'm a store manager. I don't know all the promos, dude. I got salespeople to do that. But no, I think it's like any S10, S10e. You could take it in up to $1,000 on them levels. And like you could take an I just did it. I just pre-ordered for S20. They had an S21 pluses or S21 something, and my guy ordered her ultras, 2 ultras.
Mine is a an Ultra
20,
Note
20, no
20.
20. Yep. Yeah,
Yeah, so,
you'll get the ultra for free. Now if you're with Verizon, correct?
no,
Oh, well, I mean,
I'm the other
Verizon,
guy.
yeah, AT&T?
Hmm.
Oh, AT&T, you should be fine there still. Once you get out of AT&T and Verizon, I mean, the T-Mobile kinda, but T-Mobile was just told that they're not allowed to use the terms reliable and fast anymore.
Is that because that's an AT&T and a Verizon thing?
No, because they're not reliable and fast.
Oh,
Because
I got you.
it's not true. They're not more reliable than Verizon or AT&T, and they're not faster than AT&T and Verizon.
Did you, Adam? Did he post it on Facebook? I believe. I think he, or was it Instagram? Maybe an Instagram or something. But I seen an egg. I think.
Yeah, Adam's got some eggs. I got some. I sent you eggs. I think I sent.
Yeah.
I've gotten eggs, a lot of eggs so far. Okay, guys, but I got M50 eggs starting to come, and M50 is a very special animal to me. And I
Yeah.
think Andrew and like 6 other people seen that. I got M50 eggs. M50 is a pure white and yellow, and it's just mixing it with a bunch of stuff. I mean, I'm starting a bell line with it, a radar. He is going to Gem Snow radar, so I'm going to make Gem. I'll make Gem Snow white and yellows this year. That'd be Het radar because I took it to him. But I also have radar white and yellow Het radars that I'm breeding this year. His kids from last year. But
I'm still pairing stuff up. So,
dude, I'll be pairing stuff up for the next 6 months, 7 months.
Yeah. So,
I mean, ovulation. People that sit there and say I pair up and I breed in the first month, or they're missing so much. Animals ovulate at different times, and I mean, it matters. The breeders from across America, when they're born, it kind of regulates when they're going to ovulate. Also, I mean, so I have ovulations all different. Right? Like my bells usually ovulate earlier, so I get them babies earlier. So them babies are going to ovulate earlier. Stuff like that.
How would you feel about getting eggs year round then? Would that bother you, or do you like a break, or what?
I do.
The
first year that I didn't was this year when I shut down because of the kids. If people, I can actually talk about it right now. I can talk about it. It's kind of over, but it's not. The reason I shut down, and not many people know this, is I have custody of my grandkids. And so does my wife. My wife and I have custody of grandkids. It's a bad situation. Don't need to get into that. But we thought we were going to have to move all the animals out of our basement to keep the kids in home. Because once you start getting in that fostering thing, rules change. It's not just law. It's not like, oh, it's legal to keep them here. It's not law anymore. So it was either my grandkids or the collection. And I don't care how much money I had wrapped up. I was giving stuff away.
Family first, always.
Yeah, I was like, it's gone. And some people took offense to that, and I didn't care. So I was then we were blessed enough. The Rich, he's my landlord for my building, and I just talked to him again because our lease is coming up, and he says, "No, Gary, the building looks terrific because I take really good care of my building," and he's like, "Huh." I don't even have to show up here. You just pay me money. So I'm going full go again. I breed year round because I'm a one person gang when it comes to the geckos. And I don't make Laura do anything with the geckos. Laura takes care of the kids. It's all on me. I go to work. I go take care of geckos. Some nights I get 2 hours sleep, but that's the reality of being an entrepreneur and being a full-time, employee for someone else. And, I'm going full go this year. I'm going to go full go. And so, yeah, it also an easier load to handle. I physically couldn't do it. If I bred everything I own and made it.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no
worries. It was Becky. She was out.
Oh, no worries. If I bred everything I had and I just went full go, and I came up with 2,000 eggs, 3,000 eggs in the first 2 months. I couldn't do it, guys. I'm not superhuman. My wife would help. Now, my wife did used to go to the zoo, and she used to help some of my daughter. But now having two younger kids, especially a 1.5-year-old and a 5-year-old, it's hard.
That's tough. That's real hard.
And
I can
I mean,
imagine.
I do have a few dangerous animals at the shop that if a kid did get into, I do have them in lock and key. But let's just say we're cleaning cages and we have a 1.5-year-old running around and a 5-year-old running around. It just doesn't work. So
No.
I go there and I'm busting my butt and getting it done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Becky would step in and help me do anything as long as it ain't messing with like roaches or something. But if it's like the geckos or something, she has no problem. She'll print out labels, she'll pack stuff, she'll clean, she'll pick up stuff.
So
That's not a big deal.
during that time, I mean, it hit me pretty hard. We found out the news. It wasn't a legal thing. It was a fostering thing type thing. Saying, hey, you this could prevent that. They didn't say it would. They said it could. And then when they said, oh wait, you have what? They thought I had like one or two geckos, and they were saying it could prevent it. There are in the state of Wisconsin, there are some animals that are a hell no. If you have them, you cannot be a foster or take custody of kids from
Do
CPS.
you mind if I ask what animals they are? If you know what they are,
Bearded dragon, all snakes, all of them, any
Wow.
bird. Hence why Max is no longer here.
Which is kind of stupid.
Any bird.
Why?
I don't know. So there's no
Well,
bird.
they came out with a report like 20 years ago about bird feathers being like asbestos for kids or something, but I don't know if that was just a thing to try to get people to stop.
It wasn't
buying
even
birds.
that. It was just in case it attacked them.
Oh.
And then what was the other? I forget the fourth one. It was sugar gliders.
And
them
you have
4
all three.
species, and we had them all.
Oh, you had them all.
Are a no. As you know, the bearded dragons moved there to the shop, but we got rid of Max because Max was a cockatoo and he couldn't be left alone. He would pluck. So my wife, after all these years, had to get rid of Max. And we had to rehome him. Some people think that we were just being assholes to people, but we were going through a lot of stuff, and we had to keep on this pretty face for everybody because everyone thought we were just being mean to them, but we had to keep on this pretty face. Max went and the sugar gliders left, and we saved the bearded dragons. I did get rid of a lot of geckos. I gave away by hundreds to my wholesale clients because I didn't know what to do. But I kept most of my I kept almost all my breeders, and we got blessed, found the place. I moved it. We paid for the lease, and during this time, I shut down breeding. I didn't pair anything. During this time, I had it at the house. Well, I wasn't going to produce anything else. I was sitting on eggs. What do I do? And I'm hatching every single day. So I'm going down there taking care of a collection I thought I was getting rid of. I thought was going to leave. And I'm hatching eggs every day. And I have eggs that were already bred, but females already bred that were laying eggs. And I'm like, oh, geez. And I shut down everything. For 6 months, I just started taking care of stuff. And then once I found the place, when you move a collection, it kind of alters them. And it shuts down stuff. Right? Yeah, it shuts them down. And I had the rebound. I know people wanted to see I don't know. People wanted to see the facility and they wanted me to be happy about it, but I would rather have my animals in my basement and not call it a facility than have them at a facility to be cool. It was hard. It's still hard for me. I can't go next door and pull eggs like I used to.
No, now you got to drive all the way across. Wally, I do agree that is stupid with the birds, with how they said that they would be like asbestos form, but that's what they said. It came out with a thing. Miles is here. How you doing, Miles?
Miles, my homie. Miles knows a lot of this. Miles was one of the ones that knew what was going on. And it was a scary time. Like, guys, I mean, I still have females that I haven't bred because of it, and males. They haven't started. I mean, they were 6 to 8 years old, and they're very special projects. So they're just pets, and I can't get rid of them. And yeah, so my wife got rid of her bird that she's been wanting forever, and we adopted, and that bird loved her.
That was the greatest bird I've ever seen. I mean,
And
eating pizza, taking showers, and doing his whole
and
dance. It
we
was,
still get hate mail that we rehomed it. They were like, "Oh, you just got rid of a bird." It had nothing to do with anything, but we had
no,
to, or we could have.
no,
We
no.
didn't want to hamper anything with them kids, and we pushed through it. Financially, I mean, it was shut down a collection like mine from making money, but keep feeding it. Find out how
Oh,
fast you go broke.
I could just imagine. Oh, my eye itches right now. Mark, yeah, I agree. Dragons are pretty cool.
So, yeah, it's just it was a tough time in my head, and everyone's got demons, everyone's got battles, everyone's got battles, but that was my battle. So I'm coming home, and I would go and I go work and I run Verizons. Everyone knows that. It's not hard. It's not hard. I sell cell phones for a living, and I get other people to do it. But I have higher up saying, why isn't you hitting this and hitting this? And I'm a high performer in work. I'm one of the best of the best. You ask my people that lead me, Gary's one of the best of the best. You ask the CEO, Gary's the best of the best. And I still had to hold that going through this and hold that mentality and go take care of the animals at the zoo and work until 2 or 3 in the morning, and then come home and get up at 6 in the morning and get 3, maybe 3-4 hours sleep, and go to work and do it again. And then I mean, we were doing these shows at the time. Remember, we were
Yeah,
doing
I
shows for a
remember.
while. There was times I was running down here, throwing up my green screen, sitting down and hitting live.
Yep, and there was times you're like, I got to run somewhere. I'll be right back, and then you went and fell asleep somewhere and forgot
Yeah.
to come back. That's all good though.
Yeah.
Wally, I agree, but I don't show my facility off to anybody
The
either.
facility, I don't care if
Mm,
someone's seen a facility, but it was more of a head thing. Like, I mean, it's hard to show something that is, you got something else that's a bigger battle. The animals, I mean, I had to care for them. I didn't have anyone to fall back on. I had to push through, and I had to take care of these kids. These kids go through more appointment. Well, slow down now that I said I can talk about it, but appointment after appointment after appointment after appointment after appointment.
oh,
And
crazy.
it's like, I mean, it's like, I mean, people that has kids can understand. I mean, I had one, now we have 3.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Instant,
it's rough.
boom.
Yep.
And then I had this collection that cost thousands of dollars a month to take care of, and I wasn't making money. And I had to call the Mickeys that run Show Me, and I had to call the Dylans that run Scale Up, and I had to call Shane and say, "Hey guys, I have this issue going on. I can't vend anymore." And Dylan knows more than the other two show promoters. They all show great support, and I stopped, but I had to care for the animals every day. And there was days that I would get on this show and I had to put on a smile. I didn't want to see nobody.
No. Yeah, I know you were communicating with me about it, and it was like, I don't know, and I kept telling you, you don't have to do a show, but you're like, no, we got to do one. So
I mean, it was
yeah.
a tough time. So then I came back and we were breeding. I
Yep.
was breeding, and there's you guys want to know my first 25 animals? If you guys who's listening don't know, I don't know if I got bad calcium. I don't know if I got something bad, but I did what I do all the time. And I'm sprinkling my worms and everything. My first 20 to 25 animals got MDB bad, like wobbly legs. They're all alive, but they're going to be petted out. Some of them are like really rare animals. Like, I'm going to have to pet them out to people that really will pet them out. And so I had that, but I come back and I get hit with that. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you just kidding me? And I'm like, oh, is this a sign saying just get rid of it all? Is it really a sign to saying we're
No,
done?
I think it was a test of your will, and you passed it.
Yeah. So the last year breeding, I mean, it just sucked. Every ounce of it. You guys seen pictures, and I put on a smile because I mean, it wasn't your guys' fault.
No.
I mean, I put on a smile and I go there, and I mean, I have a 5.5-foot dial monitor that I could put on YouTube and put on these lives and do all this other stuff and show off. I just go there. I let him out of his cage. He follows me around. He follows me around. Like literally, he just follows me around. I won't do it, but he is so calm. I almost can guarantee I could put a gecko on his head. He would sit there with it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because he eats out of my hand like a dog. He kind of gets along with the cat. Kind of. The cat don't like him.
Until you look one day and the cat's tail's hanging out of its mouth. He's like, I didn't see him.
I had the cat upstairs. I didn't know it. She was upstairs. Usually she's downstairs, and because my shop has a basement, and she's usually downstairs when I let him out. And I thought she was, and she wasn't. And she was hissing, and he's just looking at her like, "Why are you hissing at me?" I have
Igor. It's same thing. It's one with MBD.
Yeah. Oh, got Igor. Yeah. So I mean, I have a lot of stuff. Like, I mean, I got my tarantulas. That kind of got me through.
Can I say something about his Igor right here?
Yeah.
It's kind of different though. It's not like its legs are bad or nothing. It's got just its curvature of the spine, and it's like it's not a kink. It was hatched out normal, and then it just slowly got a curve in its spine.
I'm not a vet. I couldn't tell you if that is MDB or is it a growth issue. I don't know. MDB is a softness of the bone, but a vertebrate is supposed to flex anyway. So
yeah,
but I'm not a vet. I'm not even close to it. So
almost like scoliosis. It's really weird.
What happened in my first 26, number 26 and down have some sort of MDB. They're not numbered anymore, but I took them off for sale. Some of them, the back legs aren't working right. They're not putting pressure on it. They got bowed arms. Once you see MDB, you can see it. You can look at a gecko and say it had it. It'll never look right again. So I don't know. It was a really tough year. Like I got herptivite. Here's another thing. Miles is going to be able to back me up on this. I couldn't get what Vionate like I normally do. I've been doing Vionate for geez, how long? 15 years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It just disappeared.
Yeah, and it disappeared for the longest time. So I'm talking to my buddy Reptile Tom, and he's like, Gary, I'll hook you up with some herptivite, buddy, and I'll give it to you at cost. I'm like, all right, I guess. I mean, I talked to some other, and they're like, herptivite's pretty decent. Well, I know someone's going to say something here too. I do not put water cups in my geckos. I mist down. I've been doing it 15 years.
I do for all my babies.
I don't do any type of water because if they defecate in their water, then they are drinking defecation. So when I clean their tub, I mist them down. So then they're getting clean water. So I mist down when I clean their cage. Okay. So that's when I do it. Anyways, doing this process, I sprinkle. I don't put a tub of calcium in there. I have never done that. Well, I have back in 2006, but now I have like a little salt shaker type thing, and I sprinkle it on my worms. The moisture made that herptivite turn into a clay type on their hands, and then would harden and make their toes fall off.
Because it drew out all the moisture right out of their hands. See, now that would piss me off too.
So I will never,
no more herptivite.
I will never touch herptivite, and you couldn't pay me. You could not pay me to do it. I just couldn't do it. So I have some amazing looking. Now I do cross animals in Tangerine, and there's animals that I have that probably people don't know, but I have a very, very nice line of, gosh dang it, I can't think of Klein's Tangerine. What is Klein's Tangerine? Infernos. I can think of the guy's name. Infernos. I have a really nice line, and I crossed it with my bloods. And I made some insane looking blood Infernos. Like they're really cool looking.
See, Miles had the same problem.
Yeah. Yep. Miles had the same problem.
20 animals or so. It was like plaster. Yep.
Very
Crazy
much so.
Stuff.
And I was afraid to say something until Miles told me, and I'm like, dude, I'm having the same problem. I was like, what in the world? And I was so upset about it. And I thought it was just life piling it on me, saying, hey, Gary, we got this MDB issue now. Now we're going to make you lose some toes. And
It was
It
just a
just sucks.
test. Trust me, everything's a test in life. But I do have a question now. Now you see Texas Kid here. He talks about your, bacteria buildup. Now that makes you wonder if putting a water bowl in there can cause them to start getting crypto, because ain't that a bacteria?
Crypto is a bacteria, but I don't think it just creates. I think you have to. It has to have a carrier
Okay.
introduced. Don't quote me. I'm not a vet, but I know some people. Um, why did I say that's the one we're talking about? I know some people don't like Klein, and I understand why. But he did do an intensive study on crypto, because he worked for a zoo. I don't know if he still does. I do not talk to Pat. But I believe just because you don't talk to somebody or you don't like them doesn't mean that they do have something that they can bring to the table. And he did a lot with crypto, and I believe they have to have a carrier. And water dishes, so they have something to drink all the time. Most important, as many vitamins are water diluted. But I understand 100% about what you said about pooping in dishes. Yeah, leopard geckos. I've done both. Back in 2006, was it? I used to do it because I used to think like a snake bite. If people don't know, I used to be a snake guy. That's all I did was snakes, and I used to put water bowls in with my geckos. And my geckos weren't growing as fast. I would have some stunted and all this other stuff. And when I talked to JMG, I was JMG. Why are you putting water bowls in there, Gary? His exactly. Why are you putting water bowls? But now JMG used to put calcium in there. That's why I used to do that. So I started misting instead of water bowls. And I started seeing that misting like that makes you clean the cage more too. So if people don't know, I have 2 tubs for every one of my geckos. Every gecko gets 2 tubs. And I have one ready during clean day. I have to go quick. And I just have the tub ready and I just transfer the animal. That's what
5.3 seconds per
I
gecko.
have to. And then I go and I clean out all the tubs all at the same time. It just seems faster to me. It might not be. I don't know.
Yeah, you guys are right. I forgot that it was a parasite, and I don't know
There we
why I
go.
forgot that. But as for water dishes, now I missed them every other day. So, if I don't have a water dish in there, I missed them every other day. So
Exactly.
and I do put water dishes in with the babies though, and I change them out every day.
I use osteoform.
Osteoform, that's what I used to.
I use osteoform. Osteoform and osteoform SA is the same thing. I went through that because when I had the MDB issue, Miles can contest to this too. I was going nuts saying they're different. They're different. Oh my God. And I was stressing out so much. And they tell you the percent of vitamin D3. Okay. That's what they need because they don't get UVA and UVB. And, the thing is the SA comes in a little bit smaller container than the regular osteoform, and they were just the number was adjusted because of the size of the container, and I'm like, oh, it's all the same. And I was like, oh, got it. So I stressed out about that. I mean, I was stressing.
Now, if you had newer cages, couldn't you just like give them? Couldn't you just use a light though? That's a question I've always been asked. Couldn't you use a UVB light? I don't trust UVB lights that much because 20 years ago, I remember when all the animals got burned from UV. Al I had a lot of
I
snakes
honestly
get burned.
don't have an answer to that. I wouldn't stop giving them with osteoform. I wouldn't stop.
No, I don't plan to stop.
I honestly don't know the answer to that either. I don't know. But the D3 is what I was mostly worried about in it because they need the D3 to process it. And that's why when I looked at it, that's the first thing that went to my head was I got bad calcium or something. This past year, you guys might think I've been knowledgeable. I have been stressed.
Yeah, I
This
know you've
year,
been telling me all the time everything that's going on. I'm like, oh wow.
this year's going to be different. I have a lot going on, but I mean, if people see me at shows, they used to before this situation, I was taking hundreds of geckos, hundreds, and I think I take like 50 geckos to a show now. There's a reason. One is I need the money, so I'm wholesaling a bit of my stuff. And the next is I just don't have the animals produced this past year to bring hundreds of retailed animals. but thought I might try that. I've never tried. I don't I don't disagree with using reptile based companies that make their own stuff. I don't.
Mhm.
I am so old school, and Ken, I know you kind of are old school too. That it just if once I find something that works, I don't usually change. And now going to Herptivite and having the issue, it's going to be hard for me to change again. It's just going to be. Wait, we can't get Vinate, so I get it sent to the States and I pick it up there. I got you. I'm getting Vinate again. I got a supplier for Vinate. I have 80 pounds of it right now, maybe 70. Whatever, what it's either comes in a 10-pound. You guys gonna have to correct me. Either comes in a 10-pound bucket or a 7-pound bucket, and I have like 10ish. I think they come in 7-pound. And then osteoform, I buy that's easy to get
5-gallon
again.
bucket.
No, because I don't use it that fast. So I buy the containers. I've thought about buying a 5-gallon bucket, but after talking to John Scarborough, he feels the calcium and the Vionate can go bad if you don't keep it cool.
Oh, I suppose it could. I don't see
So
why I wouldn't.
so
Especially the Vionate, because I think vitamins would go bad pretty quick.
yeah. So that's why I might not buy in the bulk that I did, but I got scared with the Vionate. You can freeze it. So all mine's in a
Oh, that's a good
refrigerator.
idea.
All of it. I'm blessed enough. We all kind of know all the people and they talk to, and I'm like, hey, we had this issue, and I know someone's going to blame us big breeders for buying up a lot of this stuff, but I mean, it's a scare. The mealworm thing right now is still a big thing. The
Yeah.
mealworm thing. I mean,
Well,
I
could tell you, I went over and checked my mealworms. They're doing really good now. So,
well, my issue is this, and I'm not going to toss out any names because there are some really good small mealworm breeders. I talked to a recent breeder, great mealworm breeder. I was going to switch to a smaller supplier. And when I gave him the numbers, he says, I know exactly why everyone's telling you no. He goes, we're smaller breeders. We produce a nice number, but to put that much into one order, if something happens in shipping to it, to 60 to 100 to 150,000 mealworms in one shipping to one person, it could cripple us for months. And it made sense to me. So
I suppose it's good.
I understood what he was saying. I have a breeder local he says he's gonna be able to supply me, and I'm like, dude, I just don't know. I mean, I'm kind of stuck. I mean, I need 100,000 at a time. Just give me 100,000. I'll see you next week for another 100,000. Is that cool with you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I need 100,000. But I understood he's the first person that actually told me why. Because he goes, I have the numbers, but even if I split it up and gave you 25,000 a week, I'm still gonna put a lot into one customer. So yeah, I think it's more to do with I think it has more to do with the Vionate, but I just didn't take chance with that MDB at the beginning. Guys, I have a pure white and yellow male. I'll let you guys know. I have a pure white and yellow male that I produce that has MDB, and I won't breed it. And someone's gonna say, you know what it is? It's fixed now, right? Well, he's got curvature of his front feet. I will never put an animal into production that I harmed, and I harmed that animal because I didn't catch it fast enough. And so that animal will be a pet. Is it a very valuable and a very rare animal? 100%. But it doesn't matter what the value of the animal is to me. Hey, dude, can I borrow 40K?
Mark, shows are a good way to go, but sometimes it's hard if people don't know who you are.
Oh, expos? Oh,
Yeah.
expos know exactly who I am. I am not.
No, you, but he's asking if it was a good place to go.
Yeah. I have a friend, Dan. He just sold his pet store, and he was one of the ones that got me through the mealworm shortage. Because when I would call somebody, they would just tell me no. They knew who I was. They knew that I was calling them to buy it everything. I was going to buy it all. And Dan went and was buying up stuff for me.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for him, I would have been hurting. Like, and as you see, Miles, this everyone that doesn't know from last show, the Gecker breeder is a shout out to my homie Miles. Gecker breeder is a thing. I had 2 messages saying I misspelled gecko. I didn't misspell nothing. That's Gecker, baby. That's a shout out to Miles.
Hey, Gary.
What up?
You spelled gecko wrong.
Yeah, I know I did. I do not add supplement when I gut load, but I do gut load everything.
I do too. I gut load.
I am not a fan of putting an animal in a refrigerator and then not gut loading them and feeding them before I feed my animals.
You know what I always equate that to? If you put it in the refrigerator and then you don't gut load and let that, it's like eating cardboard then. So your geckos are getting no nutrition whatsoever. So I take them out the day before, I feed them, let them overnight, eat everything that's in there, and then I throw them in with the geckos.
And there is a theory, and I've seen it, because you ever have where I put like 25 to 30 mealworms in a dish for every gecko, every adult gecko, every gecko. Okay.
I do, Adam.
And sometimes the calcium powder can suffocate the mealworm. So if I add supplement into it the day before, I could kill off mealworms before they get to the gecko.
But I feed them good, like carrots and you name it, they get it the day before.
I add bee pollen to everything. My gecko, roach chow has bee pollen, and everything has bee pollen in it.
So does my isopod chow has lots of bee. I put bee pollen in that too.
Mine, I do feed dubia now. I do feed dubia, but some of my breeders they turn their nose up to it. The babies, when I get the baby, they'll tear up some baby dubia. They'll go for it. I have a 6-quart tub in the fridge with most of the mealworms and wheat bran and oat bran breading. I usually put carrots in there too. I don't put no food in there until I pull them out of the refrigerator.
That's what I do. But I have it's like a couple 28-quart tubs, I think it is. That's the size they are. Put mealworms in the fridge.
So I am looking for a new meal. I'm looking for if there was a small time mealworm supplier that would want a very steady income, I would totally look into it. But I need steady. I need steady. I need to be able to go, I get. I pay you, but I get. I did tell the person I was talking to that was invoiced. I'm a legit business, and all that good stuff. And they didn't have any problems with any of that. It was just the quantity being sent out. Midwest Mealworms is an amazing place. I honestly think that everyone should check out Midwest Mealworms. The owner of that company is an amazing person. I honestly, anyone that can do it, Midwest cannot supply me. And there's nothing wrong with that. I've gone directly to Midwest, one of the nicest people I've ever talked to about mealworms.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I like talking to him. He's pretty cool.
We might just have to bring him on.
He had an issue. I don't know if anybody watches his YouTube, but he had a big issue last week, the week before, and he was apologizing to people because he was behind. They had a big mail debacle where a bunch of stuff died, and he had to replace it all. And it was a big thing, so it kind of set him back a whole week. But I was like, it happens.
Yeah, see, and see, that's the thing is, like, a big place like Rainbow. I love Jillian, guys. I do. I love Jillian. I just do. I understand that some people do not get along with Rainbow. I love Jillian. I've known Jillian, the owner, for a very long time. I mean, we go back, and if I need mealworms, usually I get them. And that means something to a business that needs them, because it's not me needing them, it's my collection needing them. If I don't get mealworms, I got thousands of geckos that are going to go hungry. I mean, let's be honest. Missing a week or 2 weeks of feeding for geckos isn't going to hurt them anyway.
No.
It's just not going to hurt them unless they're hatchlings. Hatchlings struggle.
Yeah, no, Wally, I felt for him too. I felt really bad. I mean, it was, if you saw him on there, he had to replace tens of thousands of beetles, tens of thousands of mealworms, and it was just like it set him back. It was tough.
I like that cornmeal. I've seen that, Miles. Yeah, when a business is like that, like Midwest, anything like that hurts them, and people need to understand that. The same thing happened to Rainbow, and I know.
So let me
Yeah,
let
go
me
ahead.
what new trick did Miles teach you? Teaching an old dog new tricks.
Oh, teaching a new dog new tricks. That was a sweet mealy trick this week.
Kelsey.
Okay, I I take and I don't use my shop vac to blow off the mealworm sheddings. Is that what it's called? The sheds.
Yeah,
And he's outside and he just takes this and he's like, "Drinks," and he blows it outside. I'm like, I never even thought it. It never even crossed my mind.
you do know, if you set it to tray down, this is something I'm gonna type. You set the tray down and they put all the little castings on the top. If you get your shop vac and hold it about an inch above that, it'll suck all their right up into this, not blow it anywhere. You don't have to worry about it. It's all sucked right up into the shop vac.
But this guy, he just blew it out. It's biodegradable. And so
yeah.
it works. Yeah. So, and it keeps the allergens out of the house. That was the big thing. And I'm like, dude, dude, seriously. I mean, I was so like awesome about it. It was awesome. So
yeah, see, Wally does it that way too. If you just hold it an inch above it, it sucks them right up.
My problem with that is I tell you the reason I have a problem with that when you suck it in, and even if you have a filter. I used to do the thing. I had a really good vacuum, a really good shop vac, and I used to do what Matt Bronick does. Did everyone know what Matt Bronick used to do? And
he used to pull his tub on and suck everything up.
Okay. I had a cockatoo. I have a filter. I change my filter on my furnace all the time, but that white dust gets everywhere in the house. He was only one. Same thing was happening when I was shop vacuuming stuff. There was like this film and stuff, and Matt will bring it up on everything, and he started getting allergies. Even with the filter on it, he was still getting it. So I took what Miles said. I'm like, well, you just blow it outside. We're good to go.
Well, that'll do too. But then I got to walk up steps out the door. Hopefully it's not 60 below zero when I do it.
Yeah, I mean, but that's why I used to do the same thing, move the geckos aside, and because people that don't know, scrubbing your breeder's tubs kind of hurts you when you're breeding.
Yeah, they need that. Well, if you do that, I've noticed if you do that to a male's tub or the female's tub and you put the male in it, he will sit there for an hour scenting it again. If it's in there and it's his scent, he just goes right to town. But
exactly, I used to shake it up and had a box fan blowing across. I don't recommend that. That's very required. Yeah, no, I'm lucky enough. I've been dealing with the stuff. I don't get allergies to roaches, mealworms, nothing. But I mean, there's some people like that.
Yeah, some people have an issue. Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I'm blessed enough not to have that issue. So yeah, I used to have that. I still have that really nice vacuum, that shop vac I bought for that, and I did it in this very house and it's about down. And I bought a 25-foot.
Hello, Crystal.
25-foot.
Oh, wait a minute, I read that wrong. I'm sorry. Oh, to say hi when he was doing it. Okay, scared the poop out of me. I thought she came down now to say hi. Sorry.
Yeah, see, in Miles, it's hitting the same thing with the experience. It blows out that. So Matt and I, because Matt and I agree on so many things when we used to talk all the time. We're like, oh, we don't clean the breeding cages. And he's like, I shop vac the stuff. I'm like, oh, that would be so much quicker. He's just done. Instead of pulling the cage out and scraping it, he just done. And I started doing that. And then I started noticing it took me about a year and a half to see it. And I'm like, oh, I'm not doing that no more.
Yeah, well, here's the thing with that too. If you're breathing that dust in, you could definitely be getting bacteria into your lungs and get pretty damn sick. So what I find is I'll take the tub out and then I'll hold it over the trash can because I got a big trash can and I could scrape it right in there real easy. So without
I,
kicking
I
dust up.
I always try to find a new way to go faster. I'm always trying to find a way. But yeah, this year's gonna be a different year. Uh, I did. it- I thought I told everyone I was going to get eggs from the rainwater het cipher het me possible het cipher with the markers. It looks het cipher, but I'm
Uh,
kind of leaning towards it just being het marble eye. I'm serious. That's cipher I can go back and get. I kind of want to save the lines. I just want a line, but I went there again today to pull eggs, and she is about to explode. You can see, I mean, you can see them. I'm like, come on, she's digging. I'm like this late. So hopefully tomorrow, um, that's gonna be exciting. Uh, so Marble Eye Rainwaters,
ho, 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 ho.
Miles, I love you. um, and everyone that messages me and hears all this, none of the Marble Eye, none of the Cipher stuff will be for sale this year at all. Not even thinking about it.
Not
It
even two
doesn't.
good friends.
Well, I'll give the projects that carry on, but I'm not selling anything. I'm not selling it. It's hard to say this to people that are in the Cipher game, but I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it to separate and preserve them. Because I
Yeah,
know Cypher is going to be put into everything, and then there's going to be no pure Cypher, just like there's no pure Eclipse. And
yeah.
so I kind of want to get a line of pure Cyphers, and I want to get a line of pure Marble Eye, and I'm going to work my butt off to get that. Another against putting Cypher into everything, because I'm going to put Cypher into stuff, but that boy that I got is going to some Macularis. I really don't want to take it into fasciolatus and my Montaneous and stuff, but I might end up doing that.
Let me ask you a question. Now, my daughter-in-law is in here. Her name is Kelsey. She's in here. I just seen her pop in. She just sent me a text. Is there any way that we could possibly get her past her fear of even geckos?
Hell yeah, I'll put one in her hand. No, seriously, the best way to get your fear is go to a reptile expo and don't touch anything if you don't want to. Look at the stuff. Take it slow. Just take it slow. Go to the zoo and go look at the reptiles and just look at them. And then the next step is maybe touch one. You don't have to hold it yet. Touch one. Because I'm going to give you an example. Some people can just dive in and hold something and get over their fear. Some people, it takes time. There's no wrong answer.
Yeah, see, she would run if you tried to put it in her hands or whatever.
Just look at them, observe them, and stuff like that before you. And then the next step is to touch it. A leopard gecko. There's some leopard geckos and crested geckos. I mean,
they ain't gonna hurt you.
Yeah, I mean, and here's another thing: watching children usually helps adults. Watching children, hold a gecko, and they're like, "Oh, it's not so bad." Like my granddaughter, she'll pick up a widow if I let her. She wouldn't care.
Yeah,
she does. She fears nothing. I'm like, she'll go, "What's this, Papa?" And just pick up stuff. I'm like, that's what I'm scared of at the zoo. I'm like, oh gosh, you can't do that.
Well,
but that's
make
what
sure
I'm
you
saying.
say hello to my grandchildren there, Kelsey. Both of them.
Yeah, take it slow. I think I'm going to try to attempt to breed black widows. I know it's stupid. I just want to do it.
No, I don't think it's stupid. I just think I don't know. I've never. People have done it, but I don't know the difficulty level in doing it with black widows. I don't know.
I just want to try it.
That picture you sent me today was cool, though.
Yeah, I took it. It was I put a black widow with the dead bodies underneath the roaches. She had her graveyard.
A little graveyard.
I won't do it, but that particular black widow will eat from my hands.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So I can hold the roach, and she'll turn around backwards, and she'll throw her web at it, and I can do like this, and the animal will be there stuck, and she'll get on it and then push it down and start wrapping it. Web accessions, that's pretty cool. I should get it and show, but the black widows are not aggressive animals. They're just not aggressive to come get you. I have a salmon pink bird eater that will actually come and crawl right to my finger, and she's about the size of a nickel.
You know what you need, Gary? You need a nice OBT to
Them orange ones that the orange ones that were nothing. I had a guy, I forget his name. He had one, and I opened it right up, and I was like, "What's going on?" It's not if you let it crawl on you, and you're not picking it up, it's not going to attack you.
More likely to run from you than to bite you. Yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, I know that like he's like Webbed Obsessions. Michael here said that they do drop a lot of egg sacs, quite a few of them.
Yeah, I had a friend. He was freezing the egg sacs from a wild caught, and I was like, "Oh, I kind of want to deal with the babies." And he goes, "They're so small." I kind of want to deal with them. Um, I finally lost my ghost mantis. I think I said that last time. They
Yeah,
got
he said that
old,
last time. Yeah.
but I really enjoy the arachnids, and the arachnids I enjoy are the ones that live like a year. But my six-eyed sand spider, oh, that thing is so cool. I want more. I want more sand spiders now. I
Well, I
have
think
to
they're
have
cool.
them.
Yeah, I like watching them in the real soft, fine, powdery sand when they bury themselves real quick. That's cool.
Well, that sand that I have, I can crush back up to fine. I moistened it down too much one time and it clumped up. So I crushed it back all up. And this one I was trying to feed it pinheads because it's very small. So like pinhead red runners and pinhead goblins. And I dropped a roach the same size as it, and it didn't even think twice. It's like, oh yeah, that's mine. And it killed the roach. Like I have never seen a spider or tarantula kill a roach as fast as that sand spider.
Oh, they're pretty crazy. But I forwarded you a picture from Michael here.
Like it's instant. Like it's like instant. My Deathstalker does not kill roaches as fast.
No,
And yes, the Deathstalker's still alive. Everyone, I've been asking that. Is the Deathstalker alive? I will. We'll get some pictures of it and stuff. I'm not even on Facebook, guys. I was getting down a rabbit hole. I've been looking at the Eye of the Sahara lately.
they say the Eye of Sahara. You heard what that they think that is, right?
Atlantis.
Yes.
That's why I've been looking at it because I've been listening. I got sick, you know that. Not everyone
Yeah.
knows, but I got really sick the last like 4 or 5 days, and I was listening to Joe Rogan and
Joe Rogan. Oh, you heard that one with
and
the,
that's what got me into it. Now I've been listening to everything to do with Egypt, Africa, the ancient Chinese or ancient China or Chinese, and then Greece and Rome and how they're all connected. Oh yeah, I've been listening to all that
crazy stuff.
Oh, what does Mickey want? Can you ship my? Oh, someone's asking me for wholesale geckos. I'll talk to them in a bit. Everyone's wanting wholesale geckos from the Gary. See, it's not. They're not mean. They're not mean. Okay, some people think I'm crazy, but like, see this, and then my buddy John Apple. John Apple get right in and like just pick up widows and everything.
Here's the thing, though. Now I'm going to tell you something. To me, I wouldn't do it because I heard that the OBT bite creates a lot of pain and long lasting pain compared to most other tarantulas. I don't know.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, my buddy John, I don't know
Frank
if it
the
was
Tank is in the house.
Frankie. It was whole like let the six-eye sand spider go on his finger. That when he was showing it to me. So I mean, he said they were too small to do any damage at that point.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, they're dinky. I mean, their cage. This is a cap is probably twice this. It's like that big, and it is tiny. It's smaller than that centerpiece. My sand spider. But my sand spider is my favorite arachnid right now. And I have Deathstalkers and centipedes and my widows and salmonella. I got so many salmon pink bird eaters. But I have one that's bigger than the rest because I feed it more.
Because it's a good takedowner. It takes them down better or something.
It does not care if it touches that ground. It does not care. It is hers or his. I don't know how to tell if it's male or female, but it is huge. And she's so used to me. If I put it, she'll crawl out on my finger and just sit there. And I'll sit there and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I'll just look at her and then I'll kind of give it a little shake and she'll run back down and go into the tube again. So
That's good to know, Michael. See, I just go by what I've been told, so that's good to know. And I know you've been bitten over the years because you sent me a picture the other day where one got you in the hand. Not an OBT, but a tarantula got him in the thumb or finger or whatever
I've
it was.
never been bit or stung by anything except for venomous snakes. I've been bit once by something deadly, and I've been bit once by something not. And I'm not counting falsies and falsies or hognose,
Well,
because I've been bit by
obviously it
falsies.
didn't kill you, so that's a good
No,
thing.
I've been bit by an eastern diamondback. If anyone's ever seen me in real life, they can ask to see it. I got a scar on my finger. I have no feeling in this finger, none. Um, I was lucky. And then I was bit by a mangrove, and I purposely let it happen on my arm, and you can see the scar. Because someone said that um, the mangrove didn't have to chew, and I said yes they do, and I let it bite me to say they chew, and I took them right off. Um,
Well, that's awesome to know, Frank. Remember the gecko he showed? Was it? Oh no, it was my live stream. I did a live stream after we did a live stream just because I was trying to work out all the kinks,
yeah.
and he showed us a crested gecko that was extremely aggressive, but now he got a female and put it in there, and she kind of slapped him around as like I'm the boss around here.
Crescent geckos are just getting really popular with the pet trade part. I
Yes,
know
pet
that
trade.
the new morphs are high dollar investments are good, but I've
Yeah,
been
they're
getting a
out
lot of
there.
people messaging me saying I want a crested gecko or I want this type, and not high end. They just want a pet crested gecko. Um, at reptile
I
shows, I
gave a
tell
baby away the other day.
yeah. I'm like, well, crested geckos are the gecko that you can feed bugs and feed the
Diet.
diet, and they don't need heat. It's kind of cool. And leopard geckos need heat, and you feed them bugs.
Yep.
So, they're like, well, which one's more active? And I'm like, they both are. They're just active in different ways. The crested gecko will climb and jump through the trees if you give them all that leaf litter, and leopard
I,
geckos dig and
I don't know if that's true or not, Frank, but I do believe that it's a very strong possibility that that has happened.
what's that? If I'm
That the
wrong,
price of crested geckos have gone up 300%.
I don't. I'm a bad person to ask because I only wholesale cresteds. Um, that's all I do. So that's why I don't take my crested geckos to shows because I respect the breeders that are selling it for more.
Yeah.
If I took my crested geckos to a reptile expo, I'd put $35 a piece on them, and I wouldn't. It wouldn't be a thing. But I'm also not. I don't have anything that's like high end either. I mean, I get my wholesale clients who tell me this is a pinstripe and this is this and a harlequin. I'm like, cool. I'm like, awesome. I mean, it was a wholesale thing because I wanted that corner market.
Do you want to know why Texas Kid there that has happened? I believe that has happened because of flawless crested geckos, because he turned around and started getting ball pythons. Well, then the ball python breeders started watching him, and he turned them on to crested geckos. He kind of opened their eyes on a lot of
I
stuff.
agree with that. Flawless is my homie. Okay, I love them two guys.
Yeah.
Guys. Sorry, couple. They're amazing.
Uh,
But there's ball python breeders are investment, not all are investment people. So when they look at leopard geckos, they see $500 up here. There's no money. But when you start talking thousands and you start talking tens of thousands, it perks the interest of ball pythons. Now, how I'm going to prove this is ball python breeders did the same thing in the boas.
Yep.
Ball python breeders were all doing their tens and $100,000. Oh, there's a sharp albino. Oh, there's a IMG, and there's a this, and they got into that. But it's a different breeder. It's different to breed a boa than it is a ball python.
Way different.
Okay, and some people would succeed and some people would fail. And now they're seeing the same thing with crested geckos. And a ball python takes a lot less care than a crested gecko, in my opinion. So, and the difference between a ball python breeder, and I will fight every single soul on this, a ball python breeder and any gecko breeder when it comes to crested geckos and leachianus and leopard geckos, Gecko breeders are more into detail. They will look at a detail a lot more than a ball python. Ball python, you'll hear the same thing: alien heads and blushing. You will hear alien heads and blushing all the time.
Unless you're Justin Kabalka, then he kind of
Justin's in his own world.
I was gonna say he's a little bit different.
Justin, I remember when Justin first got into it, and but the dude is an amazing guy, and just he's on a different level.
I can answer that, Frank. I don't think they are, because the ones I have seem to have a personality. You know, a lot of people say that they're like Miles said, he wants to find one with a brain in it, but I find them to be very interesting animals. They seem to have a slight intelligence, not as much as like other things, but it's there. They're pretty cool.
In my opinion, crested gecko in the pet trade as pets and hobby, not overrated. I think they're amazing animals all the way. I think they're great for pets as an investment, and keeping that high level $10,000 and $20,000. No, it's going to fade back out.
Well, I agree with you, Texas Kid. Like I said, it's not like a leopard gecko, but it's their own way of doing things. I mean, they'll come up. Mine will come up when I come in the room, even if the light's on in there already, and I come in the room, they'll pop up just to watch me. And they sit over there, a little head bent, and they'll just watch me. They're different.
You guys ready to know why I say ball python breeders? I know I'm going to get some heat. Not all ball python breeders.
There's a few in here.
Leachianus sells for thousands of dollars. And the people who are breeding Leachianus don't really have problems getting rid of their Leachianus. So why isn't ball python breeders going to Leachianus? Why don't you think ball python breeders are going to Leachianus?
Because Leachianus all basically look the same. They're all kind of green. And
they look the same. It's a locale thing. You got to know locales.
Mm-hmm.
And Leachianus are one of the harder geckos to care for. And a pair, just because you got a male and female doesn't mean they're getting along.
No.
So
no, and it takes a little bit of work there. Yeah.
It takes a lot more work to get your money. A ball python, you got a male and female. I mean, I know there's stories that you won't, but most of the time, just like leopard geckos, you get a male and female, you can make them to breed. That's why you don't see leopard gecko people jumping into Leachianus too. Leachianus is a very high-end animal, and it takes something special to breed a Leachianus. Gargoyles, I think, are underrated, in my opinion. I honestly agree with this. Gargoyles are one of my favorite, but I couldn't breed a gargoyle, and I don't know why, guys. I just can't. I'm going to try again, though.
Do you know what? Knobtails are pretty cool.
Knobbies are cool, too. My problem is you got to look at the pet trade. Who are you selling to? What's your market? Are you selling to other breeders that are going to make other high-end animals? When you look at high-end animals to breed, you're only going to sell to other breeders. You're not going to get someone that's going to go, hey, I really want that black gecko. I want to spend $10,000 on it to put it in a 10-gallon tank in the corner of the house. It's not going to happen. I mean, it might happen once or twice, but it's not going to happen normally. So I look at stuff that are good for pet trade. Like if you go to a fat tail to a leopard gecko, which one would be a better pet for a child? I would say leopard gecko.
Leopard gecko, yeah.
Every single time. Now, is that anything wrong with the fat tail? No, the fat tails are awesome. When you talk about crested geckos or gargoyles, which one's going to be a better pet for a child? Crested geckos. Gargoyles are a little bit more care, a little bit more. So that
a little bit of aggressive too, compared to a point.
Don't. We need to talk. No, we need to talk then. Don't get rid of knobbies, bro. Bro, they don't take any. I know, brother. I know. Don't we? Oh, I love you, Miles. That's my homie. But
I like knobtails too. I just got it. I don't have any at the moment, so I'm gonna have to definitely work on getting at least a pair of them, even if it's just.
If Miles lets any of his go, and you can pick up some from Miles, impeccable. His stuff is insane. I don't even know if he shows his stuff all the time, but his stuff's insane. I know it is, bro. I know what you got.
Michael from Webbed Obsessions also has knobtails. He does a lot of knobtails.
I need to get in touch with Michael more. And Mike, the reason that the last 12 months that I've been kind of gone, I put in the beginning of this podcast, if you guys didn't hear, but there's a reason. I'm back. I am back. I'm putting a lot of time into it. And during this podcast, we'll tell you what me and Andrew got going on next. But I need to get in touch with you because I want to get some more arachnids. I really don't have an interest in breeding too much arachnids, if that makes sense. I just want them. If that makes sense. I just want them. I just need them. I have to have them. Send you a pic of baby Garg. Oh, he did. Let's see what that is actually an insane Gargy. Look at that Gargy. That's a red Gargy.
Yes.
Wally produces red Gargies like that. Wally donated a red Gargy at, I forget what auction it was. Might have been Janesville.
No. Was it? Oh, it might have been.
Yeah, it was a live
I
auction
remember
that we were at.
I remember I was so upset because I said I had my eye on them. He's like, well, there to go.
Frank, I am looking into getting Leachianus. I am looking.
Leeches would be cool, but I don't think I'd want to breed them. I just want to have one, just to have one.
I have a friend that just bought a pet store, Cardinal that had a pair of proven leeches. She was gravid, offered to me for less than what a single animal would go for, and I turned it down. And I mean, anything from Cardinal is amazing. They're just amazing people. And I wish I would have jumped on that. But I am looking to get
a picture for you.
I am looking to get Leachianus. I am going to be. You guys are going to see a change in what I used to do. I am still going to wholesale on a certain level. I have certain clients that don't want to go to anyone else. I kind of gave away some of my clientele, and some of the clients don't want to. And I said I could breed just for them. And I'm going to focus on some higher end crested geckos. And when I say high end, like $200, $300, $400 crested geckos. And I'm probably going to get some leechies. Not many. I mean, 2 pair.
I'm going to send you a couple insane pictures here of the most beautiful iguana I've ever seen. And if I were to get an iguana again, I would want one that looked like this. I'm just trying to get some good shots of it for you.
Thank you, Mike. I'm telling you, I will tell you this. You need to tell me how bad the bite will be, because I will probably try to hold it. I am crazy. I talk to my arachnids. Just to let you know, my death stalker is so used to me. She comes out from hiding when I open up the door, and she grabs the roach from the tongs, and then she doesn't even sting it. She just starts eating it now. She's my baby, but she's not as cool as my sand spider. I do have a psychotic freaking Arizona hairy thing, scorpion. Think psychotic. It will sting anything that's near it. It will sting tongs, wood. It does not matter. It does not matter. I could put a full-grown roach and it will attack that roach. That's
cool though.
Crazy. And then what other crazy things do I have?
I think arachnids are cool.
My centipede, I don't know if my centipede's dying, but she now is hiding more and she's eating less. I feed her frogs.
Is she going into a molt, maybe?
Maybe that might be it. It's been about 4 weeks though. But I used to feed her once a week, and my buddy John Apple told me to feed her frogs. That's what they eat in the wild. This species eat in the wild. That feeding them rodents all the time is actually bad for them. So I give her roaches and I give her a frog. Every other week I give her a small frog. And she's acting funny. She's missing one of her antennae things. And that's why I got her. I don't care about stuff like that.
What kind of centipede?
I forget. It's huge. It's like this big. It's like huge. I have no clue. It's written down. The scientific name's written down on it. I have no clue. She's mean as can be. She's mean. She like
bite you?
Oh,
oh
yeah, without a doubt, she's not a nice animal. I don't feed live rodents to them, so everyone's like, "How fast does it kill them?" I have no clue. But my roaches are live, so I mean they are a living thing, but roaches don't feel pain like we do.
No, but
I
I
don't know.
did
I'm
send
gonna
you.
get you guys a picture of it, and you guys can tell me.
I sent you some pictures of this iguana. Now I thought this would be a great back piece in that great big cage I have over there. You know, if we're doing lives, it could be right in the back. Tell me that thing
Is
is
that
not insane.
Crutchfield? Is that from
It
Crutchfield?
has to be, I think.
It has to be a Crutchfield animal, though. I mean, uh,
Look at the
that's not
color of that thing.
Crutchfield, but I mean, it has to be a
No,
Crutchfield
no, that's not Crutchfield.
Crimson.
No,
Yeah, but it has to be a Crutchfield albino. That is insane. Uh, all I know is someone like you could keep, but iguanas take so much space, man.
I know they do. That's why I got the big cage. I thought that, or something would be cool. And I know, I've kept them before, so I know you have to do. If it's a male, you can't just open up the cage, just stick your hand in there because he'll get you.
I'm telling you. I do have a rattlesnake, a Mojave rattlesnake coming to me. It does not have a rattle,
Oh,
so I will be a venomous keeper again.
was it? Did it accident happen, or was it just born that way?
Joe got it that way.
Oh, okay,
So it's a Mojave, so it's probably wild collected. Let's be honest. And Mojaves are a very different rattlesnake, as people know. They got neurotoxin and hemo.
toxins. Mhm.
They got different toxins. The Southern Pacific's probably the one closest to it, and they're ages apart. I was known back in the day. I had 2 Mojave Western Diamondback crosses. Jim in Kentucky Reptile Zoo has those now.
Yeah,
Yeah, he has those now. I don't know about venom compound, what the difference is. I have no clue. I just knew that if you got bit by that, was CrowFab really going to work at the time?
they
Uh,
weren't sure.
yeah. So I had those. Mojave rattlesnakes are you don't want to get bit by a Mojave.
No,
You'd rather get bit by an Eastern or a Western. But Joe has it, and he's donating it to me.
and that's
So
going to be at your facility, right?
yeah.
That would be cool.
So we'll have a Mojave. I had a cobra there for a few days. With alligators all the time. Freaking alligators. I hate alligators.
They're
And
your
that's
friend, Gary. They are your friend.
like
They make
everyone.
excellent pets. Don't you know that?
And I keep seeing them for
Jeez.
sale, like from friends now. I had a friend that have a smooth front up, a smooth front Cayman. I'm like, come on, guys, just really come on.
Now I would buy one just to have it, though. I wouldn't breed it or nothing, but that would be.
But with the true space that a gator
Oh, I
or
know.
even a 4-foot, the 4-foot Chinese alligator needs, I can't supply that, and I'm not even saying I'm that good, but I can't. I mean, I got my tortoises I got to worry about now.
Oh,
That's
that
what my
that
worry is.
Aldabra's going to get huge.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm looking to give them acres of land.
It's the
And
chicken of the swamp, man. That's what Frank the Tank calls him, chicken of the swamp.
like a chicken of the swamp.
Yeah, chicken of the swamp.
Well, I mean,
So,
I just don't know. Our Galapagos, our Aldabra. I mean, like I told Laura, I said we got to think in 10 years we got to have something big in 10 years.
If she doesn't realize how, I'm sure she does, but if you go to Bob Clark's page,
Yeah.
he'll show you the room.
That's
he's
why
got
we
his
got it.
Aldabras.
She wanted it, and I was like, well, I wanted. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys know. I wanted a Nile croc. Okay, and I was looking
That
at
would be cool.
what I needed to do to house a Nile croc, and I have it all down. I knew how big of outdoor caging I needed, and blah blah blah. What size pond I needed, all this good stuff to give it a good life. I wanted a man killer. I know that sounds bad. I wanted a man killer, and Laura shows interest, and she wanted a Dabra, and Adabras need space too. So I was like, well, the Nile croc's out. Adabra's not going to kill us, so Adabra it is. And I can get another Adabra. I get 2 Adabras take up about the same space, and they're very communal. Adabras are very communal.
It's out of the question for now until if you were to move somewhere and get a bigger place, like
If
Utah or something,
if I do move, I that's my goal. And I want to. I was kind of talking to Ty 2 days ago, 3 days ago, and he put up that what the species he bred, how many species he's bred. Okay, and I said, what's the most rewarding? And then he told me the most rewarding was some chameleons that he bred. Okay, And then the next day he put up something about all the good reviews he's had on Iguana Land. I mean, he's getting perfect reviews.
Mhm.
And I told him, doing what you love is what pushes you and when you love to teach. And that's what I want to do. If I could just have the facility and I could stop breeding geckos and I could live, I would teach reptiles all day. I wouldn't care about producing. Um, and a Nile Croc's a dream. Um,
I
uh,
agree with you, Texas kid.
why do you think I had venomous? I had venomous before it was cool to have venomous. Before the social media thing was big. I had stuff in my collection that there was no anti-venom for at all. If I was
You had it
bit, I
before
was
Muff
gonna
Daddy
die.
had it, right?
Oh, way before Muff Daddy. Um, I had stuff that, it was like there was an inner circle of like
I agree,
40 of
Adam.
us. What's that?
Working with
Yeah.
5 kids. Ah,
So there was like 40 of us that we would just call and say, "Hey, what do you got?" And we would just send each other stuff we produced. I mean, at one time in my facility, I don't know. I had boom slings. I was one of what 4 people in the United States had boom slings back then. It was me and Al had the biggest collection of boom slings, and maybe Joe down in Florida, maybe 3. We had boom slings. And boom slings at that time, there was no AV at the time. In the United States, there was none. If I was bit, I was dead. Gaboons, so how many species of cobras and rattlesnakes? Yeah, geez.
you know, you don't like to call it a facility, but you can because it's definitely like a definite facility.
Yeah, I don't.
I know you don't like it, but I have to say it's
Yeah.
definitely a facility at this point.
So like, I kept venomous because I liked it, and there was more ways to die for me a day than most people see in a lifetime. And it got me to meet the Jim Harrisons, the Tom Crutchfields, the Ray Hunters. And if you guys don't know these names, look them up.
I know these names. I've talked to almost
uh,
all of them.
yeah, now Jim Harrison, he doesn't talk to just anybody. So
No, he talks to me though.
yeah,
So.
he probably knows you. So, but you could go down to the Kentucky Reptile Zoo and see what he does.
Uh-huh.
Ray Hunter, Joe, and there's people. Some of these people don't get along with each other,
Don't
but
forget
I
Terry
know that when I
Phillips.
talk to them. Terry Phillips is on a different level too. Um, just these people I was blessed with. The venomous world's a little different, especially the old school venomous world. It's different than any other
Mhm.
community. Venomous.org. If anyone, I don't know if that's still up anymore.
I don't know if it's up anymore, but I remember it.
There was, Ken, these people. I have a friend that's a zookeeper, curator down in Chicago. That I can go down there right now, and I go down, and he would take me. And it's not his name's Brian. His name's Brian Summerfield. So it's not Barchek, it's Summerfield. One of the coolest guys. I go down there to just tour the zoo. Oh God, oh, that would be my dream. I could probably get a job at the local zoo here. I could probably walk in there and get his job, but they couldn't pay me enough to pay my bills.
Yeah, you make good money with that phones, right?
Yeah,
Compared
they
to working
pay,
at a zoo.
and they pay. And guys, I'll give you an example. I still pay. I still sell on eBay. I have stacks of video games here. I'm literally got a list on eBay, probably tonight or tomorrow, and because I had to look outside the box for what happened to me, and not anyone knew. I separated myself from people, so I didn't do something I didn't want. I would regret. So I separated myself from people.
Link us
My
to
circle's small.
eBay.
Yeah, what link to eBay?
Yeah, put it up so everybody knows what it is.
I don't have much up there, but you guys can hear. Here, just a second. I don't have much up there now. I might have 40 things. I got 2 things that ship. I got a ship today yet. So I sold 2 things. Let me see. How can I get to my store? Let me see here. We can do this. We can do this. Let me see. Link to store. See my store. There we go. And it's under my old name, my old business name of G&L Treasure Hunters. G&L Treasure Hunters was my thrift store chain. There you guys go. You guys can see my eBay. So that will take you to eBay. I have nothing too rare up right now. I have like Need for Speed for GameCube. I got some Saturn games up right now. I got a Walkman up. But I will be posting. I got like 200 games next to me that I got to clean and get up. I guarantee everything to work unless I tell you it doesn't. Like there is some rare games I have.
Frank the Tank. That's a link to your feet pictures.
It is. Like this game's kind of rare. It's like $40, $50. Okay. But I guarantee the game doesn't load. Okay. It looks good to hear. It looks good, but there's scratching on it. So I'm honest about it. And I'm going to say, hey, it might load if you polish it. It might, but it needs resurfaced. If they resurface it, it'll work. So I will sell this at a better rate. To get a disc resurfaced is $3.
You can even buy the machine and do it yourself.
I could, but at the same time, I'm just all about making money as quick as possible when at eBay. So if I sell this at $20 and they get $3 and resurface it, they get a $40 game for $23. And I sell it quick. And then I have 100% rating, 100% positive. I have 1.9K items sold. I'm not that big. I have almost 2,000 items sold, 100% rating.
That's good
because
though.
I'm very, very specific. I tell you, and then if someone does, like I have an issue with a Van Helsing game of Xbox. I tested it here. I have every console that I sell games for a test console for, so I test the games out. And he emailed me and goes, the other 2 games work perfect, but this Van Helsing is not loading. But I have another console at my mom's, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And I said, you want a refund? And he says, no, I'm going to test it there. If it works, it don't. I'm like, just let me know. I have another Van Helsing here. I'll refund your money. It doesn't bother me either way. So
you know what game system I'm looking for?
What's that?
Nintendo.
I don't have a Nintendo console here. I got 64 games that I got. I mean, this is the labels broke up, but I got games. I have NES games somewhere. I got complete NES complete games. I got WrestleMania Steel Cage Challenge, next week Turbo Racing complete in box.
Oh, Mike Tyson's Punch Out Knockout.
I have that somewhere. It's only like a $30 game, I believe. But there's 2. There's Punch Out and Mike Tyson's Punch Out. So the Mike Tyson Punch Out and the Punch Out is the same game. It looks like I think the boss is different at the end, but same game. Something had to do with royalties, and they had to drop the Mike Tyson.
Oh,
so the Mike Tyson version is worth a little bit more. Well, if people knew what I actually have, because I used to own stores that had video game stores inside it. My thrift store had video game stores, so I have literally stacks of stuff. To give you an example here, I just got done cleaning these. Stack of here's I don't know, Mr. Nuts for Game Guy Color. I have Tetris. Let's see. NBA Jam, Superman. This is a cool game for the Game Boy. It's kind of rare. It's not worth that much. I think it's like $20. But Killer Instinct, that's a hard game to get for the Game Boy. James Bond 007, Urban Strike. Here is another hard to get game. It is Earthworm Jim, but it's like part 2 of something of the Galaxy. That's kind of a hard game to get. And here's another game that's really hard to find, unless you're on eBay. But to find out in the wild or find in game shops is kind of hard to find. You can find almost anything on eBay. It's Game Watch Gallery. So this is all the Game Watches. This is a hard game to find, but it's only worth like $12. So yeah, and I got PSP games that are worth some money, like Daxter, Tekken. This game here is Grand Theft Auto. It's worth $40.
Is it really? I got a bunch of that stuff sitting around here.
Yeah, so certain games, Atari's starting to get some leg room. It used to be Ataris were all cheap. I probably, and this is not even joking, I probably have close to 5,000 Atari games.
Holy crap!
Because Atari people are bringing, I would pay them nickels. I mean, it was such a low amount, and they would give me their Ataris, and they sold so slow. Someone once in a while come in and get an Atari console, and they always wanted a Woody. Woody is the wood ones. They always wanted a Woody, and they wanted Pac-Man. And Pac-Man's a real common game. That's what they wanted. Pac-Man and that. And I'm like, all right.
Surprised they didn't want the Smurfs game.
No, Smurfs. It was always Pac-Man, and then we do Space Invader, like the combat, like the commons. And that's what I would sell. And I just would get stacks and stacks. No one came in looking for 2,600 or 5,200 or so. I just got stacks of them. And then Xbox games. When I had my stores, original Xbox was the bottom of the barrel. Now they're starting to come back up.
I have one that still works.
They give you guys
an original Xbox
to show you guys. I'm not. I used to buy wholesale new. These are all new. I used to buy wholesale new and put it in my stores. Them are worth like $5 a piece now. When I was selling them, they were like $29.99.
I have an original Xbox. I have a
them are actually expensive.
I have an original PSP.
The original 1001 PSP, I think, is a cheaper one, or it might be the real expensive one. It's one or the other.
I got them both
because
I got a bunch of other stuff too.
Yeah, like it's insane. Like the video game world is insane. That's where I did a lot of money for the longest time, and I enjoy video games. So, I know the games. And I play certain ones. Like I'm a Sega Genesis nut. I just bought a game I collect still. I've been looking for Twin Cobra for the Genesis for a long time. It's like a $50-$60 game complete. And one of the people I sold games to recently said, I have a Twin Cobra copy, but it's got stickers on it. And I'm like, I don't care. And he gave it to me for $16. I'm like, I'm game. Let's do that, you know? And so he's sending that to me. And we'll see where that goes. But Twin Cobra is a very hard helicopter game. I plan to do a Raspberry Pi Nintendo Super Nintendo N64 PS1 build at some point in the nearest future. Dude, do it. The ROMs are not hard to find. You know that, bro. The ROMs are not hard to find.
I bought a regular Nintendo once off of eBay. And it didn't even work. I was so pissed. Then when I tried
did it power on?
Yeah, I believe it did. But I couldn't get it to work. I was so freaking just like
the 72-pin connector is just. I mean, I know someone's gonna say it's not original, but you can pick up a 72-pin connector for like $12, and it doesn't matter if it's original if you're just gonna play it. They're a little tight. It takes about a month to get them loosened up a little bit. But you open up the console and it literally pulls off, take some alcohol, clean off the old one, and put a new one on. Done. I can change a 72-pin connector and no soldering needed. It literally just pushes on and comes off.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it's easy. The next show I will get a board and I'll have it easy to change. Recapping them can be problems. If you don't know how to solder, recapping them can be a problem. But Nintendo's rarely need recap. The Genesis Game Gear, the Sega Game Gear needed recapped a lot. Then the Super Nintendos are like bricks, dude. You can if you clean a Super Nintendo, they'll work. I've been mostly seeing PS2s. PS2s are pretty solid systems. I tell people to get the thin; they're easier to fix and clean. Or buy the PS3 and have someone put a new chip in it, and fix the yellow ring or whatever they call that.
The red ring of death.
Yeah. The Sony is like yellow, but if you buy a reverse compatible that actually works and has been refurbished, they're nice because they pay PS1, PS2, and PS3. But it is sort of an emulation for the PS1, I believe. It actually has that reverse compatible actually has a PS1 built into it. So I think it's a PS2 that emulates. I forget. One of them emulates, the other one's built in. That's all I can say. I don't know. But yeah, I'm all into video games. See, you guys, see, I told you guys. I go like after this, I probably will list. I try to list 10 to 15 things a day. We all remember the creepy sound when the red ring of death popped up. Yeah. I will tell you this. The biggest thing I seen on in games is Xbox original, and in PS2 and PS3. Is the drives, the disk drives are married to the motherboard. So they have to change the eye, and most people just buy a new disk drive and put it in and say it's fixed without testing it, and it won't work. Especially in 360s. 360 is another one. They'll just change the disk drive out without changing the, you have to buy the same model disk drive and take the motherboard off the disk drive and take the motherboard off the new disk drive, and that's how you got to do it if you're going to do it that way, or just change the eye. That's it. I mean, it's really crazy stuff. But it was to prevent third-party repair. That's what it was for. But we'll figure it all out. We always do.
Yeah.
But yeah, eBay. Let's see what I got rare in there. I got a Harry Potter game at 17. That Black Fire is pretty rare, but it's not worth that. Black Fire for the Sega Saturn. Wings Arms is really rare. I just dropped that $5. That Walkman, I might pull that Walkman back off and actually fix it. Because it's worth like $80 to $100 if I fix it. And that mac and cheese radio, no joke. I found it in a box. I didn't know. I just opened that box to take the picture. I didn't know what was in it. It's never even had a battery in it. I'm gonna see what I sold. Let's see the two games I sold. I sold Amazing Island for the GameCube for 20, and I sold Hobbit for the GameCube for 20. So that'd be easy peasy. The Amazing
I used to have
Island
an Odyssey.
bad. Odyssey 1 or 2?
First one.
That's
And the
pretty
second
cool.
one. Had them both. The first Odyssey, you'd put the thing on the screen of your TV, and
Yep.
but the second Odyssey was a little console, which was a little different. Still cool.
One of my salesmen brought up Hogwarts Legacy. He brought it up. He bought it. He's been playing it. They like that they have a 44-year-old manager that games. So they brought that up, and I was watching reviews on it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, gaming's something that our other podcasts, we're gonna be able to hit that too. We can hit gaming. We can hit everything. It's gonna be pretty cool. But
it's gonna be when do we?
We got to think of a launch date. We got to think of a launch date. We can show people. I can get that up. Some people seen it. Some people don't. It matters if you're friends with me on Facebook. Are you guys friends with all you? I think all you guys are friends with me on Facebook.
I was going to talk about a few things tonight after you show this, if it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll discuss it.
Yeah. I gotta see where. Oh wait, I know where it's at. I know what I can do. You guys gotta remember, I got like 17 different screens. That's in my downloads. See, that's pretty cool. Is that pretty cool little logo?
I like it. Cool? Yeah. You got to grow a beard and mustache now, Gary.
Yeah, I got to grow that. Well, I usually am fuzzy. My hair is missing up here, but you can see here.
A little bit back there.
I'm balding, but
so am I. That's why I shave. Right here I got no much hair, so I just shave it all off. It's easier that way.
The story was Socially Talk. So I told you guys this is just going to be Reptiles, but we'll get back to Reptiles. We get time. We'll get it. But yes. Socially Talk was a domain that, if you guys remember, everyone was talking about Facebook jail and blah, blah, blah. Facebook, they're going to leave Facebook, and they needed social media. And I had the backbone for ReptiPost. And I said, I'm going to make another social media and call it Socially Talk. And I bought sociallytalk.com. I've sat on it for 2 years. It's just been sitting there.
Sweet.
So I'm going to give you guys my inspiration from this. Is me and Andrew talked about it a lot. We both listen to Joe Rogan.
Talking about it for about a year now, right?
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah. We just want a podcast that we talk about anything and everything. And there's unfiltered.
No holds barred.
Yeah, no holds barred. We can cuss. We can do whatever we want. And we could talk about anything. It could be, we could talk about tennis one day if that's up, or we could talk about something that's going on in America or Europe, or we could talk about the pyramids. We could anything we want to talk about. And I think it's time. But what held it off is the bad thing happened to me this last
Yeah.
year. And I would hope that we get enough viewers eventually to actually the reptile game is fun for me. I'm trying to make Socially Talk a paycheck. And all we need to do is hit topics that people like, and you guys can talk to us. All I ask is don't look at us different if we don't agree. You don't have to agree with me. You don't.
No.
Not agreeing is fine.
Don't judge.
Yeah, just don't judge. I won't judge you. We just go. Finally let my URL go since I've never developed the site so much to choose. Oh, that sucks, dude. I own a lot of different domains. I own a lot. I mean, I get ideas, guys. I do have a problem. I will tell you guys this. I know there's people that's been trying to contact me on Instagram. Instagram's probably one of the hardest places to get a hold of me because I don't go there that often. But I did see that today I had like 14 new messages. I got to get over there and I will. I do know there's some people trying to do some contests for us. We're going to be putting them out here. Contests for Reptipost to get Reptipost going. I get ideas in my head and I start doing it, and when they don't take off, I give up on them too soon sometimes. They don't flourish. I'm like, whatever, they're there. Reptipost has been up for over a year, guys, and I pay for it every month. and I don't charge to go on it. I don't care. I would like this stuff to start paying for itself and maybe get some income. But Socially Talk, I'm thinking about it just being us, just whatever we want to talk about. It doesn't have to be negative either. It could be anything.
No, anything.
Yeah, it just talk about it. And Joe Rogan kind of bucks the system and says every research thing I do for podcast says it has to be 15 minutes or less.
Not 3 hours,
3, 4, 5 hours. And I think Joe's thing, how much is it monthly for you, Gary? Monthly? Okay. I've never broke it all the way down. Just Fauna Radio, I probably have close to with Podbean and StreamYard. Now, StreamYard I can use for this other project, so we can start splitting it out. I probably play 90 to with hosting and everything, $100, $110 a month. With ease. And then sometimes I can't do something like a design or something, so I go to, I forget that site, Fiverr, and I say, hey, I need this little logo, I need this done if I can't figure it out. I pay $20-$30 and then we get something to throw up. Like I want to get a professional backdrops done for us. I want to get that because
that would be cool.
So I want to get that done, or find a template that I can do. So the cost of it costs a lot. Now, Reptipost, I don't know what it costs. I honestly haven't figured it out. Probably $20-$30 a month because the hosting goes with, I host everything in one site, so I got to divide that up. Orner Exotics is on there. ReptiPage is on there. Reptipost is on there. Socially Talk's going to be on there, but Socially Talk's going to be where I try to actually go out and get sponsors. Is that what I want to say? And we make something off of it. I'm going to be honest with you guys now. All sponsors that's ever been sponsored on this page I've never asked for anything. I don't ask for nothing. I truly believe in the people that I push, like US Arc White. Well, we gotta believe in US Arc. Scaled Up is Dylan. I mean, he's family to me. And I got to get Reptiles to You up, Reptiles to You, and get that up. Debbie is amazing. I love Debbie. If you never don't know Debbie, you got to know Debbie. But that's how I do it. And it's not that I want to make money. Fauna Radio, if it ever breaks even, I'll be happy. If it breaks even, I'll be like, we win.
It's a plus, yeah.
But Socially Talk is, I'm gonna go. I mean, I hope all of you guys follow us, because we're not getting rid of
Please
Fauna
come
Radio.
over and follow us over there. Please
Come over there and follow us. And I don't know if we're gonna do a YouTube thing or if this is gonna be Podbean and on all the pod streams, or how we're gonna exactly do it yet. I don't know exactly, but
even if you just come over, you don't even have to listen to the day we post it. You can listen to it during the week,
Yeah.
whatever you want to do. So
the reason Fauna Radio has not gone up on our Podbean yet is I have to edit the Tom out of it, because I can use Tom stuff here, but Spotify won't take us, and Apple Music won't take us, and Amazon Music won't take us, because Tom is on there. Even though he's independent, he still has a producer, and these places sell his music, and then Tom gets money. And if it's that music, so I either need to get Tom to make me an intro or just go out and get an intro that doesn't matter. And that's something that costs money too, is get someone to write us an intro and do an intro and all that good stuff, and sing an intro if they're a singer, whatever we got to do to get that done. It costs money. Socially Talk, I might dump a little bit of money into if I have it. But yeah, I mean, so Fauna Radio, I don't know, between $1,000 and $1,500 a year, $1,500 a year, roughly.
Yep.
I think it's closer to 1,300 total, but I mean, it just matters. Which it doesn't. Then I mean, donations I offer, but we haven't hit yet. I got to get other stuff out that costs money, even if I produce it and stuff. I'm sure if I reach out to people and ask for donations for prizes, people would do it. I'm bad at that. I'm really bad at that. I don't want to ask and go say, hey,
no.
I don't do. I wait for people to come to me. Yeah, I got ideas, and Repti Post is on my forerunner. Repti Post is big for me. Socially Talk and Fauna Radio, and of course Orner Exotics, of course, and stuff like that. But the podcasting is, I've been doing on Fauna Radio. I've been doing OE Blasts, just 15 minutes, to show you guys what my next thing is.
I tried to send you one, but apparently it got corrupted.
It goes to like 90 minutes or 90 seconds or 50 seconds, and I'm like, and it just ends.
There's something wrong there.
This is what's coming up on. I'm starting it. If you can get it, record it in MP3 or save it in MP3.
I thought I was doing that. I thought I sent it over in MP3, but something happened where apparently in the whole maneuvering it from putting it in an MP3 to sending it to you, I did something. It was hard for me.
We're gonna get it. Maybe you should, if you can download audio off of YouTube. So if you do a podcast on YouTube, we can download we'll figure that out. This is the next thing I'm doing. This is an idea that I got off a watch guy. He does watches. He sells watches, like $50,000 watches. I didn't even know there was $50,000 watches. I had no clue. I thought like $1,000 watch was expensive. But whoa, there's 50,000. But I started watching him on TikTok, and he's really cool. But he does this. You want to be a watch dealer, lesson 1. Want to be a watch dealer, lesson 2, and it's huge. So I'm doing. You want to be a leopard gecko breeder, lesson 1. And then I'm going to do lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4, lesson 5. I got them recorded. I'm putting them up. So I'm not saying that this is the best way to do it, but I would say that I'm one of the more successful people that's been in it and stayed in it. And I hit a wall for 6 months, and I'm still here pushing forward. That's my ticket. But yeah, we do need to figure out how to get you to post, because Fauna Radio, I want to be, if someone else has a podcast, get it to me. I'll put it up on Fauna Radio. I'll put it up. I'll take where Fauna Radio's day is Friday. No one's ever getting a Friday. It's not happening. Once I get these edited, these are going up every Friday. They might go up a week later. I don't know how we're going to do that yet. But then all the other days are open, and I will stop posting Orner Exotic stuff on the day that you choose, because I kind of want just one show each day.
Yeah.
And I don't care how long it is. I have unlimited on Podbean for Fauna Radio, so I have unlimited everything.
Why not mention that? Oh. Why not make gecko watches?
Dude, maybe I should call him. Like, literally, I was watching it today, and he has another series, and this would go so bad with the gecko community because they would say hobby. He's taking $0 and making as much money as he can in like 30 days. So he goes now. He uses his connections, but he says that's who I am. But the first was he goes to this watch dealer. He goes, "How much can I get these for?" And he picks 12, and the guy gives him all the prices, and he takes video of them. Then he goes and lists them out on Instagram. He sells 3 of them or 4 of them, whatever it is. He calls the guy, says, "I'll take them watches." Guy says, "Done deal." He calls his clients, gets paid, goes there, pays for the watches, and takes the watches and sends them out. And he
That's
makes
pretty
like
cool.
$200-$300 a piece. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, but I can't do that. I won't do that. But I'm
No.
like, that's pretty cool. So could I say
He's thinking outside the box.
yeah? So and then he has another challenge. He like takes $2,500 and he's going to make it $1 million in 1 year.
He probably will.
And oh, the dude's insane. And I'm like, if I took them into the leopard gecko world, people say it's just money grabbing, money hungry. So I was like, this guy's just people are drawn to him. And then he did. You want to be a watch dealer, and I was like, that I could take into the gecko world.
Yeah.
So that's where I socially talk. I think we can actually do good. Hopefully people can come over. It's not going to be negativity, but we're going to hit stuff that might be. We might hit stuff like there might be something going on in the world, and Andrew and I might not get along. We're going to yell at each other and punch. No, we're not going to do that. But I mean, seriously, I go down these rabbit holes sometimes, and I have no one to talk to them.
Yeah.
Like I was talking in a chat. There's a chat that I'm in, and I'm talking about the pyramids, and Adam's in it. Adam and Josh is in it, and I'm like, well, the pyramids.
You should add me to that chat because am I in that chat? Is that
you are in
that's
that chat?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
You are in that chat. Yeah, I'll show you guys something else. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys something else. Google Earth. Okay, this is the type of stuff that I get into. The Eye of the Sahara is a spot in Africa that someone now is saying that was Atlantis. That is it right there. That is the Eye of the Sahara. So when you look at it, it looks like an eyeball. See how it looks like an eyeball? So Atlantis had 3 rings of water and 2 rings of land. And you can this used to be water around it. You can
and they
see
have proof of that.
Yeah, and you can see the erosion. So if I go here, look at the flood. See, this is all erosion from water from some time. This used to be all green. Okay. Now I'm not saying that this was Atlantis. I'm just saying that this used to be all green. A flood happened, and you can see where all this erosion from water happened over the time. This is a satellite photo right now on Google Earth. Okay. So, and now if we go to Egypt, Egypt's way over here, right? Right here.
Yep.
So Egypt's right there. So we go back over here to the eye. And people, one thing my wife said is that don't look too big. You make a bet. Look at this little town right here. This is a town.
Yeah.
So
that shows you how big it is.
So this thing is huge. This eye. No one knows how it was made. It should be a wonder of the world. No one knows how it was made. Okay. So it's supposed to have mountains to the north, correct? That's what Atlantis has. Okay. This mountain range is one of the largest and highest in the world.
Yeah.
Okay. Mountains to the north. And then they said, I forget what it was. This Gibraltar was, I forget, the pillars of something. And it says past the pillars, ahead of the pillars is where Atlantis was. When people sailed, they didn't sail out to the middle of the ocean. They didn't go straight. They came out and they followed the line. So ahead of it is Atlantis. Down here, ahead of it is Atlantis. This is what this guy's saying. I'm not saying it's true. So, and then the ocean was to the east.
Yeah, so it fits everything. I know. I saw the whole thing on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just what I do and I get into, and it connected to the sea, and yeah. The eye is 20 something million miles across. Yeah, exactly. I remember if I didn't say that they found ruins near Africa in the ocean that might be Atlantic. Yes, that's another thing. There was a
The
what's a big wave called?
tsunami.
Tsunami. A tsunami happened here. Okay. So a tsunami happened here and washed this out. And down here is a tsunami trail of damage, or what I forget exactly what they
Debris.
call it. A debris trail. Yeah. And here, and they're trying to see if this debris trail that is here, and it's huge, has anything in it from a city, a civilization. Um, this is just what I've done when I'm sick, guys. I know it sounds weird, but I'm just saying what they said. I have no clue. I could not know, but this is just me, and Google Earth is up all the time. I mean, this is kind of weird.
It is.
I mean, it's weird. Am I saying that it's true? No, but like someone said, I got questions. It makes you question it, you know?
Yep.
Like pyramids have been built all over the world. And they don't think that they're 5,000 years old.
No.
Some people think they're older than that.
Way older than that. 12,000.
Exactly.
12,000 years old.
So I don't know, guys.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. How did they build the pyramids? I have no clue.
No, I don't either. But Frank, you're talking about aliens, right? Did you hear what happened over Alaska today?
What happened in Alaska?
They shot down a unidentified object than the U.S. military did. So somebody was in the audience was like, "Well, is it another balloon?" He said, "No, it's not a balloon." The people who saw it before that said it was a silvery metallic object that was oblong.
Well, here's my opinion on that. Since we can talk about other things, and I said this 11K years ago, the Sahara wasn't a desert; it was green.
No, it was
exactly,
a forest,
100%,
yes.
100%.
Yep.
Here's my opinion on that. Unidentified flying object is a UFO. It doesn't mean it came from outer space.
No. But
So
they don't know who it came from because they just noticed it was flying slow, and they sent fighter aircraft over, shot it down because it was unmanned, but it wasn't a balloon in any way. Was it a balloon? They said.
So my thing is this: is in the 60s we had jets and planes that we didn't know about. That today is like whoa, but you guys think they're 60 years old. What do they have today? So there was a guy on Joe Rogan that said we're looking to explore an outer space and other Earths, and we're not even looking at the civilizations that were here.
Mm-hmm. Did you heard about the probe that came through our solar system, right? They're pretty sure it was a probe. At least top scientists do. It was at first they thought it was an asteroid, but then it slowed down and turned towards Earth, and it went past Earth, and it came back past Earth, and then it turned and went back out again. All right, now
no clue.
Yeah, well, I was watching this like Michio Kaku or something. I think it was Michio Kaku, and the guy goes, "Well, if aliens ever come here to Earth, what makes you think they would have to be more advanced than us?" And he goes, "Technically not." And they're like, "Why?" He goes, "Because if aliens live, we live to, let's say 100 years old is very old for us, right?
Yeah.
How do you know 2,000 years old ain't just like 100-year-old person is to us? So if they launch when they're like in their teens and they get here, they live to 300 years, 400 years old. It's not much of a journey for them."
Who says they can't travel faster? Because
That's true,
something
too.
else. I mean, how fast our top speed was 10 years ago is totally different than our top speed now.
Oh, absolutely.
And
crazy.
And our civilization has advanced more in the last 100 years than it has. Take that 100 years, cut it away, 500 years before that. From that 500-year chunk, we didn't get better. This last 100 years has been insane. So we just keep getting better and better and better. And us as people, we don't even know what they have. We don't even know what they can do. When we know about it's old.
That's what I said. What the U.S. government shows you now is old. It's the stuff you don't see that's top of the
Like
line.
like here, I mean, everyone says, "Oh, when the north caps melt." What north caps?
Yeah, it's just well, there's glaciers on the like
But
Greenland and stuff
yeah,
like
but
that,
there's
but it's
glaciers
not
on
this.
there, but this glaciers here that everyone says are going to melt and flood the world is nothing like, I got to find it. This one.
Nope.
That one is I mean, that's what I'm saying is, I mean, and look at all these islands that people don't even know about. I mean, it's just insane what that someone says now that there's Google Earth and there's internet, everyone is an to getting more people that doesn't know that they're not an expert to question things make you learn more in the long run. So
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's
what was the thing that happened when the farther out in space you are, the slower you age or something? I don't know that, but I
no,
was
it's just faster you go. If you travel at the speed of light, at least this is what they used to say. If you traveled at the speed of light for 1 hour and turned around and came back, which would technically be 2 hours, you wouldn't age. But the people on Earth would age 60 years.
see my wondering is that that I don't know how to put it. That I think they've already been able to travel at that because we have satellites around Saturn's moons, right? Or is it Jupiter's moons?
Yeah.
I mean, we landed on one of Jupiter's moons. Russia did. There's video. Well, humans didn't.
No, but yeah,
Object or
probes.
probe, yeah, landed on one of the moons, and it's supposed to be the most Earth-like planet or whatever in our solar system.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's too cold, but I mean that's what it is.
It's like the seas over there. What are they called? I don't know what sea it is, but it's got what they call the Millennium Falcon on the bottom of it. Have you ever seen that picture?
Mm-mm.
Let me see if I can find it real quick for you, and I'll text it over to you. Now they say this is pretty cool though. Um,
Things are going great. Problem is you're traveling really fast and avoiding planets and moons and stars and other, yeah, 100%. That's what I was gonna say. I was talking to one of my employees about this because okay, when I'm sick, I have to listen to something Joe Rogan and this pyramid thing and outer space thing kind of got me going down rabbit holes. And he said traveling fast in space is easier than traveling fast on Earth because you don't have the atmosphere to fight you. And in space, there's nothing holding you back. And it made sense. So you can travel faster once you get going. So he said travel at the speed of light. In his theory, if you gradually got there, it wouldn't hurt a human being. There's no atmosphere to hit you. It would be getting there. If you try to go there instantly, you would be crushed. But if you kind of gradually got there, just like in a car, if you gradually get up to a speed, you don't feel it. I was like,
no,
okay.
I'm gonna send you these pictures now. You can
Oh, I
look this
got,
up.
dude, Lex Friday. Okay, copying that down.
Lex Friedman is cool, but Lex Friedman's a little bit different than Joe Rogan, though. Friedman is more of a um, tech guy compared to like Joe Rogan. Joe
Hey,
Rogan's an all around well guy, but Lex Friedman, he's cool though too. I like him.
anyone I can listen to, I am like going down rabbit holes. On this,
But
so
go check them pictures out. And if you can zoom in, I don't know if you can look that up, and then you can zoom out on it. You could see a um like a slide, like a hit and slid across the ground type of thing.
I can't zoom in, but we can do. What is this now? The Baltic Sea anomaly? Interesting. It does kind of look like the Falcon. Where's it? It's in the Baltic Sea? I can't hear you. You're muted, dude. You're muted.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
If you go to the Baltic Sea on your maps, your world maps, you might be able
Yeah.
to zoom in on it or something. Now, my wife called me. I got to call her back real quick. That's
All
why
right,
I
no worries.
muted you.
Look at that, guys. Tell me that's not the coolest thing in the world. But where's it at? You got to be able to find it. That's not the Baltic Sea anymore, is it? That's the Gulf. So it's in here somewhere. I don't know where it's at, guys. I don't know where it's at. We got to wait for him. I don't know where it's at. They went down there. Wait, they went down there, but weren't able to tell what it was. Then people made fun of them, and now they don't have funding to go back down. Oh, there's
Okay,
one.
you may have to look it up on the internet itself, and it'll show you pictures of it and of it how it looks like it's when it hit its slit or something, I guess.
Because I mean, this is what I was gonna say. You can, but you guys want to see something really going. I was trying to go find it. You want to see that? I know Google Earth hides stuff.
Yeah, let's see.
Here you go. Google Earth hides stuff. Area 51.
Oh, it's all blurred out.
This
Yeah.
here is not that way. They say it's a salt flat. It's not.
No.
That's not that way. So you can actually come into Area 51 if you want, and you can look at stuff. You can do this and get, but it doesn't focus like other ways, and then like other areas. But you can look at this, and you can see this is Area 51.
Like Frank said last week, Area 51 is not the real place. Area 52 is.
Basically. And then if you go here and you say, I want to see the points, they do have blue dots somewhere. They, see the blue dots? I should be able to hit them blue dots. If I hit it, no street view.
Yeah.
Then blue dots are where I can actually go and see stuff. How I can show you is I can go here, hit that blue dot. I'm in the middle of the mountains.
Yeah, see that?
I'm in the middle of the mountains, and boom, looking at a tree.
Yeah, check that out.
So what this is some person I don't know how they submit this to Google Maps or Google Earth, but some person did this.
And they pinpointed it, and that's pinpointed now, right?
Yep. And now you can see the person's shadow. So some person did this. I don't know who did it, but that's what it is. I like Google Earth. I am a Google Earth nut. I look at Google Earth a lot. Well, there's stuff I got.
You got us upside down, bud.
Yeah, I know. And I hate that you can't flip it. It's easier on my tablet. You can well, here's something else you can do this. Let me see here. Where are we at? Let me get my bearings here. There we go. San Jose, Los Angeles, San Diego. Like you can do. I just got to find it now. You can see the whales in SeaWorld. See?
Well, check it out. Yeah.
So this whale is like upside down. I don't know if they're like laying that way or they're swimming, but this kind of shows you. I mean, I'm against SeaWorld. I don't like SeaWorld. But then I'm for them because they do a lot of conversation. I can't English today. but they do a lot for wildlife. Okay, so I like it, but the whale thing
Conservation.
is conservation. Yes, there. See, I'm tired. But anyways, you can see this, and then when you zoom out, the bay is
Yeah, bud.
bigger. These little
Oh, wait a minute.
coves are bigger for them. Look at the size of that compared to this here. So I mean, this little river valley drainage, the San Diego River, is bigger than the tank.
Yeah, and that ain't right.
So that's just insanity when you think about it. Now they do pump water out of this. They say the ocean. It is from the ocean because it comes from here, but they pump water from this here into these tanks. All these tanks, the water comes from here. So
make sure my heater's on.
I just don't know. The reason I don't like Dolphins Point, this is a really shallow. I believe this is a shallow part where they used to let people go with them in with the dolphins. Now you can just pet them. So I believe this is where you can actually pet the dolphins, but they have dolphins here and they have dolphins here. I don't know if they travel back and forth. I don't know. And then you can go to the #1 zoo in the world. Where is it at? Where's the San Diego Zoo? I know the zoos are right here. It is. This zoo is huge, guys.
Oh my gosh, that's huge.
This is huge.
You don't even realize how big it is until you see it from like this.
All the zoo, Japanese friend. All this is the zoo. There is no way you can do the zoo in one day. There's just no way. So if I hit the blue points, you can actually go into the zoo and you can look at stuff. Let's see if I can find something that's good in the zoo. Like you can go here. This would be good. You can go right down here, and it's hilly, as you see. It's really hilly. But this is what is cool. You can see what the San Diego Zoo is. I thought you could see something here. And you can just walk the zoo. Don't know what that is, but this is just insane. I can't see what it is. But this is what I do. I literally sit and do this all day. Oh, look at their ghosts.
Yeah.
But this is what I do. I sit and do this. Conservation, yes. See, they totally help me out. It's absolute agony to be extremely intelligent animal and be confined. That's exactly what I feel when it comes to SeaWorld does good things, but the orca and the dolphin thing bother me. And it really, I mean, I didn't like it when I took my wife. My wife's never been to SeaWorld. We were in San Diego for the first time and we went. And she loves orcas, okay? So it was a really good experience for her to be splashed by the Shamu. Get the experience that we all did when we were kids, because she never went. Then we let her watch Blackfish. Now she wants to go see them in the wild. She understands what I'm saying, but it still didn't hit me hard until I looked on Google Earth and looked at them tanks.
Yeah.
It's a different feeling, a different hit. Like, I mean, it's insane. It's really insane because they're
when
massive.
You're there in person. I know when you're sitting there though, and you're looking at them pools that they're in or them tanks, you're like, they're huge. Them are huge tanks. They'll be fine. You zoom in like that, and you're like, well, that ain't nothing.
100%. And them animals are massive animals. And they wonder why in Blackfish. If you haven't watched Blackfish, I recommend everyone to go watch Blackfish. The original Shamu was called, oh gosh dang it, it starts with a T. I forget the original name, but Shamu is a name given to a lot of the killer whales or orcas in all the SeaWorlds. Okay, so Shamu was the marketing name for them, and Mamu was the other one. Okay, but most of the SeaWorlds had many orcas, if that makes sense. And this Titan, no, I forget. It starts with a T. This orca I think it killed one and hurt many people. And they think he went nuts. I don't believe orcas want to kill human beings in the wild. We're not on their
No.
prey list.
Mm-mm.
But being confined like that,
It's like a prison, and
I don't.
it went crazy.
It was like, I'm gonna just kill this person, kill this thing. And of course they're being fed fish, and I mean they eat a lot more. I mean, they're an apex predator. They are.
Mhm. They actively hunt
Yeah, they'll hunt sharks, great whites, seal. They don't care.
blue whales that hunt blue whale babies. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
and they're very, very family oriented. Very, very family oriented. uh, and we capture them and put them in boxes for our pleasure. That's the best way I can put it.
They don't. They're not allowed to do it no more here, though, right? They don't,
No, we're not allowed to do it. They said, but they do breed them. If they breed them, I think they're allowed to keep what they breed.
oh,
I think. Don't quote me on that. It might be totally wrong. They even slap seals into the sky for
fun. Yes, they do.
see the seal thing. That's another thing that these are. I don't want to say that they're so intelligent we shouldn't do it, because we do it with geckos, we do it with snakes, we do it with all these. We take animals, put them in cages for fun, but there
Mhm.
has to be a line. And when an animal starts killing human beings, it's time to say, "Hey, guess what?"
Yeah, it's time to say things have to change for
And
sure.
I get it. I don't think they can be released anymore. I don't know. Um, but I guarantee the fish diet that they're getting isn't enough. If that's all
No.
they're getting, a
Yeah,
fish.
because they need that. They eat seals too, so they definitely need that red meat. I guess
Yeah,
that's what seals
the
are. They
hunt,
need that.
the hunt
Keeps them
alone
active.
helps
Yeah,
them
keeps their
going.
mind working. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's different. If you haven't seen Blackfish, I think everyone should watch Blackfish. It's a hard show to watch because it is documentary style. But there are parts you're gonna be like, whoa, whoa. Yeah. I think some people came out and they were in the movie because it was documentary, and they were in the movie as a kid, and they came out and said, "I'm in that show." Um,
Oh, yeah.
that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I actually got to touch one of the killer whales and sit on the back of a killer whale when I was a child.
Wow.
So they used to do that. They used to let you touch them and sit on the back of a killer whale. And now, well, go watch Blackfish and say they let children sit on the back of these killer whales.
I think I've seen Blackfish before.
Yeah,
Is
Blackfish
that
is a
where
must.
the guy went swimming with it when he was naked and got killed? Is that one?
Yes, that's in there too. Yes,
Okay.
because it was in it. He was alone and he went in there. I don't know why. But yes, there. I don't like calling them killer whales because they're not really killers, but they are. They are what they are. They're a very important part of the ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
They are. They're more intelligent than we even give them credit for. I tell you that.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a limit, and also more intelligent the animal, the more we have to think about their setup so we can feel 100%. Like, to give you another example to get off orcas, like bonobos are another one I don't think should be kept in captivity.
No.
Bonobos are I have pictures, and I mean lots of pictures of a bonobo that was, I think, rejected. And I wish I had more time in San Diego to talk. And when next time I go out, I will set this up to talk to the keepers. This one wasn't playing with the rest of them. It just sat alone and just sat there. And they're real intelligent.
Yeah.
And yes, dolphins will. So
Did you see did you hear Joe Rogan talk about that chimpanzee that has the crest on its head?
No.
Oh yeah, he said it's about 6 foot tall or so. It's like double the size of a regular chimpanzee, but they know they had the guy on there was talking. He was saying that what happens is if like one will have a small crest on it, like a bony crest on its head, and what happens is they use that for dominance, like, and then females will pick males to breed with and just focus on that crest. And now they got ones with huge crests because that's all the females focus on. It's pretty interesting when you hear the guy on there talking about it. It was a
They're
recent
intelligent.
episode too, so if you're sick again, just go back to a couple episodes.
Well, I listen when I'm driving because I got a couple stores, so I drive between the two. So I listen to Joe Rogan, or something else. I have subscribed to some really different YouTube channels now. But yeah, the apes and bonobos and chimpanzees, and I mean, get down to tigers and bears. What we see them do in zoos are not what they do in the wild.
No, not even close.
No. It's totally different. And you can tell a difference between a wild animal taken from the wild and put in captivity to one born in captivity.
Absolutely, I'm sure you can.
100%.
I'm sure you can.
Yeah, it's just craziness.
Well, I just know that this new social talk will be great.
I'm excited about it. I'm excited about Socially Talk. Like that's what I'm saying. We get at any topic and we get to talk about it, and it could be anything.
We could even get guests on and talk about it.
Yeah,
experts in the field. So
that's what I'm saying. We get to talk about archaeology to anything. I mean, the topics are so out there. Joe Rogan showed that you can do anything. You don't have to have a niche. You can talk about anything, and it wins.
Yeah,
and yeah, this is what I do. I sit and go down these rabbit holes.
Wow, 2 hours and 15 minutes already. Wow.
Yeah, we need to roll because this homie's got to get up in the morning. You guys all keep me up late, and I get grounded.
Well, I hope you guys all follow us over there for sure once we get it up going.
I will have it there, and then we will. But I am trying to make that so you guys got ideas and speakers and send them out, and especially for Fauna Radio too. I am trying not to miss another show. I have not missed a show since I think Adam said we're not missing no more shows. But
yeah, and then you caught me and said, nope, we're not missing none. I'm like, all right. The only time I missed it is when we first at the beginning of the year I got sick.
Yes, you did.
And so it was all messed up. So
and then I got sick this week, and I was like, oh, here we go. And now I feel great. I'm totally fine. It was a flu bug. I died twice.
I know you tell you're very silent this week, and you're like, oh, dude, I'm so sick, and I never get sick.
Yeah, I rarely get sick like that. So, but I appreciate everyone coming on and listening. But look out for that Socially Talk. Okay, guys.
Peace.
We out. I think maybe.